Thank you for tuning in to our state testing parent information session for spring 2026. This information was offered during conferences, but we decided to record it for parents that were unable to attend. So the New Jersey State Learning Assessment, or the NJSLA, measures student proficiency with grade or course level skills, knowledge, practices, and concepts that are critical to college and career readiness. It tests math, English language arts, writing, and science, and it is computer-based. All students in grades 3 through 8 use their Chromebooks to complete the test. May 4th began our testing window, and students in grades 5 and 8 tested in science this week. The NJSLA determines if students are learning the skills needed for that grade level. Ultimately, the test is used to measure if students have the skills they need for college and/or professional lives. It aims to strengthen the learning process and give teachers an idea of skills students need to master. Let's go over some specifics. This week, students tested in science. In grades 5 and 8, there were 4 45-minute units for science, making a total of 3 hours of science testing. Next week, we begin our ELA and mathematics sections of the test. For ELA reading, session 1 is 75 minutes and session 2 is 75 minutes for a total test time of 150 minutes. For writing, students will test for a total of 90 minutes. And in math, there are 2 75-minute sessions for a total of 150 minutes. Grade 6 mathematics is a single unit that will contain 2 segments, a non-calculator segment followed by a calculator segment. Both segments need to be completed within the 150 minutes of total test time unless the student has accommodations. Unit times do not include the recommended 25 to 30 minutes for logging students on, reading directions to students, and logging students off. So while students are only testing for 150 minutes, there is time that is spent to get them ready to take that test and then to log out. There are daily maximums of time. The single unit for ELA reading and single unit for mathematics will each be administered in 2 sessions. Each session is 75 minutes. There is a maximum of 2 sessions that can be completed per day, and a 10-minute break is required between sessions. For writing, there is 1 single unit that must be administered in a single session. And at the test administrator's discretion, students may be provided 1 supervised break as a group during the unit. Science, there's a maximum of 2 units per day. And if 2 units are administered, students must have a supervised break between the units. So the NJSLA is something we prepare for all year by teaching the curriculum, working on practice problems, learning how to use the technology, taking a look at test materials and possible example test questions, going over test taking strategies, and creating a testing schedule that minimizes interruptions and noise so everybody is in a test-friendly environment. There are definitely ways you can prepare your students for this test at home. So always practicing reading at home is a great idea. Ask your students questions about what they're reading and even encourage them to take notes on new words. For math, reviewing basic math facts is helpful and encouraging math questions in your conversations. You can also review state-released items that have been on tests in the past. So how can you prepare your children for the state assessment? Encourage them to be punctual, make sure they go to bed early and get a good night's sleep, eat a healthy breakfast, or make sure you're at school on time to eat breakfast here. Encourage your students to listen. Teach them brain breaks, and you could always plan a treat for after they've completed the test. Testing tends to make people feel stressed out. It can make anyone feel stressed. And students are responsible for performing at their best, which they might not feel confident about. And the format of the test is different this year, so all the students are dealing with something a little new. In 3rd grade especially, taking the test at all is completely new to our students. When we foster social and emotional learning skills and teach students ways to control their personal, physical, and psychological reactions to the test, it gives them back a little bit of control in a situation they don't feel a lot of control in. There are several relaxation techniques that we use at school when we take brain breaks, so reinforcing them at home will help your student build these important skills. Relaxation becomes a problem-solving skill that can be used during tests and as part of everyday life. Let's watch a quick video about the 4-2-8-2 breathing method. It involves breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 2, exhaling for 8 seconds, and holding for 2. This video is an aid for doing this exercise. You can find many great resources for breathing exercises on YouTube. You can visit our school's SEL website, accessible through the Parents tab on our school website. And you can also just find a great number of SEL channels out there. So let's take a look at the 4-2-8-2 breathing method. Hold, exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Hold. Another strategy is keep calm. It's a great strategy students can use when they feel their body getting tense. When students learn to listen to the physical signals their body gives them when they're stressed or frustrated, they're able to tell themselves to acknowledge how they feel, breathe, and keep going. The keep calm strategy is exactly how it sounds. The first step is tell yourself to stop. The second step is tell yourself to keep calm. Step 3, slow down your breathing with 2 long, deep breaths. And finally, step 4, praise yourself for a job well done. If you are still feeling stressed out or tense after doing the keep calm strategy, you can repeat it over and over again until you start to feel calm and focused. Visualization is when we change our focus from something stressful to something unrelated. It helps us refocus our energy and calm down. Examples of this include things like close your eyes and try to see, in your mind, your own name. Can you spell your name in your mind? Can you spell it backwards? Can you picture what a camel looks like? How many humps does it have? If you've ever heard the expression, don't think of a purple elephant, this strategy will make sense to you. Finally, meditation can be a great way to ground ourselves and focus before a test. Meditation is not for everyone, and children should never be forced to meditate. However, if your child is willing to try, it's a great strategy with a number of benefits. There are tons of resources on YouTube for meditation, and you can use scripts to read to your child or follow a video on YouTube or a prompt on Spotify. So let's try a short meditation now. If you don't want to participate, that is fine. Just take this time to relax quietly. Close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out. As you pay attention to each word, let your body relax more and more. Relax the muscles in your neck, your jaw, and even your eyes and forehead. Let go of any tension or tightness that you feel. Know that right now you can rest and enjoy this moment of peace. Focus now on relaxing the rest of your body. Relax your shoulders, arms, chest, stomach, hips, and back. Even your hands relax and your fingers follow one by one. The relaxation continues to your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, into your ankles, and down to your feet into each and every toe. Notice how completely at ease your body feels, like you are floating on air. Now take a moment to focus on kindness. Think back to a time when someone was kind to you. How did that make you feel? Feel that emotion in your body right now. Perhaps you feel less alone or feel like the kindness brightened your day. Isn't it incredible that you, too, have the ability to brighten other people's day simply by being kind? Continue to breathe deeply and extend this same kindness to yourself. Take a moment now and silently tell yourself something kind. Does that make you feel happier? We often experience more happiness when we are kind to others and ourselves using words, thoughts, and actions. When you're ready, take a deep breath and bring your attention back to where you are. If you close your eyes, please open them. And I challenge you to bring all these peaceful, kind feelings into the rest of your wonderful day. So I hope you enjoyed that meditation and will consider using it to keep you grounded and focused for things like the NJSLA and just other things you have going on in your daily life. Remember, though, that the frequency and appropriate length of time does change for people at different ages. So for preschool children, it's really only appropriate for them to meditate up to a few minutes per day. Children in grade school can meditate from anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes twice a day. And teens and adults, if they choose to, could go 5 to 45 minutes per day or more based on their own personal preference. So thank you for watching this short presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of our instructional coaches via email. Have a great day.